Fine.
Very good. What's your full name?
I'm Rindu Koikera Thomas.
Thank you. My name is David. You can call me David. And where do you come from?
I come from Manandawadi. It's one of the cities in Wayanad district, and it is a hill station, so most of the tourists come to visit my place.
Okay, that's fine. Now tell me, do you work or do you study?
I work.
You work, okay. I'd like to ask you some questions about your work. Is that okay?
Yes.
Good. Can you describe your job to me?
Yes, I work as a staff nurse in a reputed hospital, Mysore, especially in the Department of Medical Surgical, and where I have to take care of the patients with medical and surgical cases.
Okay, thank you. How long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this work since last year.
Okay. Why did you choose that job?
The reason why I chose this job is that particularly I am interested in caring people, and I think this is the only profession which have a lots of opportunities in my country and also in outside my country. So I chose this job.
Okay. What things do you enjoy about your work?
There are a lot that I really enjoy in my job. First of all, the opportunity which I get from this to serve people, and it also helps me to explore to different culture and practice of the people whom I come across in my hospital.
What things don't you like about your job?
Oh, when I think about the negative aspect of my work is that the long working hours. Nearly I have to spend 8 to 9 hours a day. That's really horrible for me to adjust with the situations.
What are your plans for the future?
I would like to do nurse practitioner course from Australia because I consider if I do this job, I would be more professional in my work, and I can also treat patients as like a doctor do. So I really like that.
Now, I want to ask you some questions about dancing and traditional dancing in your country. Is that okay?
Yes.
Good. Do you enjoy dancing?
Yes, I do. I have a skill of dancing, and I practice from my childhood onwards.
Has anyone ever taught you to dance?
Yes, my sister did that when I was a child, who's a dance teacher, and I also participated in lots of competitions in national and state level.
Tell me about any traditional dancing in your country.
A traditional dance program in my country is Mohiniyattam, which is one of the popular traditional art form in the Karnataka district, and I think it has got mythology in the Hindu religion. So most of the people perform this in order to showcase the religious importance and also to generate the knowledge to the new generation.
Do you think that traditional dancing will be popular in the future?
No, I don't think because the popularity among youngsters regarding the traditional dance forms are reducing day by day, and most of the people like to listen to Western dance and rock and other types of dance forms. So I think in the future it will definitely reduce.
Now, I'm going to give you a topic, and I would like you to speak about this topic for 1 up to 2 minutes. But before we start, you can make some notes. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, here's a piece of paper and a pen, and you can use that to make your notes. And here is your topic. I want you to describe someone in your family who you like. You should say how this person is related to you, what this person looks like, what kind of person he or she is, and explain why you like this person. Now you have 1 minute to make these notes. Okay, that's 1 minute. Now, I want you to start speaking for 1 up to 2 minutes. If you're still speaking at the end of 2 minutes, I'll stop you. Okay? So, Can you start speaking now, please?
I'd like to describe a person whom I like the most in my family. That is my elder sister. Her name is Trinity, who is a dance teacher. And we have 3 years difference, and she's 3 years elder than me. And she is lean and beautiful, and she has got long black hairs, and she's also in white complexion. And I would say that she's a person with kind-hearted and who's too generous with people. And I learned a lots of qualities from her right from my childhood, since she was my elder one. And she used to teach me how to behave to people and also how to handle situation in an effective manner. And I consider she is the person who is my role model in my family. Though my parents, my father and mother did, and they taught a lot of things to me. I consider she is the person who has a great influence in my life. And when I completed my professional course, she encouraged me to choose nursing as my profession, as she was knowing me much better than other people. And I like her because of various reasons. First of all, she taught all these basic life skills to me. Secondly, she is a person who was there with me in my difficult situations, especially when I found in trouble to adjust with my studies during my first year of nursing. And also she was the person who made me to focus more on the religious aspect, and she took me to church which was located nearby my home. And so she is the person whom I consider is the most important person in my life, and also I like her the most than any family members.
Good, thank you. Now, I would like to talk to you a bit more about this subject, somebody in your family. In what ways can people in a family be similar to each other?
I think people in our family become similar in physical appearance and also in some behavioral characteristics. For example, in the case of height and weight, people, family members can similar, and at the same time, the interest also can be similar with family members.
Do you think that daughters are always more similar to mothers than to male relatives?
No, I don't think, because in my family itself, most of my relatives and neighbors say that I'm resembles my father, and though I'm a daughter to my mother, I don't resemble her. And I have also seen in my families that sometimes the son resembles her mother, and daughter resembles her father. So I don't believe this.
What about sons and fathers?
I think it's very difficult to say. It's according to a family and family relations. And in some families, we can see that father and a son resembles, whereas in other families it does not. So I think it's not a general idea that a son always resembles his father, and my daughter always resembles her mother.
In terms of personality, are people more influenced by their family or by their friends? And in what ways?
I think the family is the most influenced persons in a person's personality development, since he or she is live with them right from their birth, and they learn from their parents how to behave to other people, and also how to be in a society, especially where they live. And so I think than other members in our society, like peer groups, family plays an important role to mold one's personality.
I'd like to talk to you about genetic research now. Where can people in your country get information about genetic research?
There are lots of ways to get information regarding genetic research. First and foremost thing is that the internet, through which we get up-to-date information about any topic, and people of my country also rely on this particular media. And at the same time, we also get information through mobile phones and also televisions, but it's not much popular.
How do people in your country feel about genetic research?
I would say that people in my country aren't much conscious about genetic research and its findings, since they focus on the daily living and they don't have time to think about the research and its findings. But of course, some people consider it's a best way to prevent some of the genetic diseases from parents to offsprings, and it also helps to use in the case of organ transplantations.
Should this research be funded by governments or by private companies, and why?
In my opinion, it should be funded by government, since it's for the benefit of the society. When we do a research, it always for the benefit and betterment of the society. So it should be funded by the government, and I consider if it is funded by a private agency or the organization, it always there's a chance for misusing that result. They may argue for a high cost to give results to a particular companies or the organizations, and they may misuse the results. So I think it's always better to fund by government organizations.
Okay, that's the end of the speaking test. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.